There is a difference between pleasure and happiness. The more you seek pleasure, the easier you fall. Your journey to success will be a difficult one if you are chasing pleasure. On the other hand, if happiness, that's what you are seeking, you are on the right track because happiness for every other person is different. And I'm not just talking about happiness and pleasure based on literature and the word meaning. I'm talking this in detail and I'm talking science. Hey guys, I am Prasoon and you are listening to Money is Blind podcast. This is the show for blind and visually impaired to learn beautiful life skills and become successful in life. So I've been doing this for the past 6 years and this podcast, it's almost the 240th episode right now, and I started this podcast back in November last year. I do this podcast 5 days a week, and it's kind of my journal, something which I'm giving back to the blind and visually impaired community because I think this is what I've been put on earth to do. So I made a video 2 months back, and this one was inspired from a doctor whose name is Andrew Huberman. You might have heard about him, and you might have even listened to some of his YouTube videos. So apparently there is a big difference between dopamine and serotonin. Serotonin is the happy hormone. It makes us happy. So whenever we are in a society, whenever we are in a get together, a party, whenever we achieve something for which we have been striving so hard, whenever we win something, we become happy. So that is triggered by a hormone which is called serotonin. And this hormone is released in your brain and it works primarily in your brain. On the other hand, there is another hormone which is called dopamine. An excess of dopamine can lead to many psychiatric illnesses and deficiency, a decline in the quantity of dopamine in your brain. That leads to diseases like Parkinson's disease, and it also can lead to many psychotic conditions. So dopamine is the pleasure hormone. So remember anything that you want to do again and again, taking a puff of cigarette, drinking a pint of beer, having sex, eating something which you love the most. It could be something sweet or savory. Remember the ping notification sound that you get when your girlfriend or boyfriend texts you. So at that time, dopamine is released in your brain, and pleasure, that's the feeling which is building up in your brain, and it is due to this hormone, dopamine. So every time we seek something which gives us pleasure, we are increasing the level of dopamine in our brain. But the thing is that dopamine answers just one question. Do you want to do it again and again? So if there is more dopamine in blood, in brain, it simply means that you want to do that thing again and again. So this dopamine is part of human evolution because without dopamine we would not have reached where we are standing right now, because to procreate, to reproduce, and to spread the human civilization, we need hormones like dopamine, and it is definitely an important part of the human evolutionary process. But in the present world, dopamine, when there are so many other ways to achieve pleasure and happiness, if you are as a person is just seeking pleasure without finding out the real purpose of your life and trying to figure out what makes you happy, then you are just triggering dopamine, and that could be a dangerous thing. Because once dopamine goes up in the blood, it falls down rapidly. It comes back to the normal, and then it goes below the normal range. goes beyond, down below the baseline, and that will make you sad. That is going to make you sad, and that is the root cause of depression and many psychotic illnesses. On the other hand, if we are seeking happiness and if you are striving towards happiness one small step at a time, it might take longer than you had ever expected, but once you reach there, serotonin, it's a positive hormone, activates parts in your brain which are kind of going to keep you moving forward. You will feel the bigger picture. You will be able to understand the importance of your role, your contribution to the society, to mankind, your contribution to mankind, and you'll start thinking about others. That's what serotonin does to your brain, and that's how you can become successful. Pleasure is just for you. It's just for one person. It's an individual hormone. Dopamine is an individual hormone. Serotonin is for the whole society. You start thinking about others. Are others getting any value from me? Am I trying to help them? That's what serotonin makes you think. That's how serotonin makes you think like. And once you start chasing happiness, serotonin becomes your friend and success will knock on your door. So this is the concept of the video that I did 2 months ago, and that video is gaining traction in YouTube, and yes, this video is also in Malayalam. You can also find captions to that video. Even if you are blind or visually impaired, don't think that these hormones are aliens. These hormones are in your brain as well, and they are working all the time. When you are sad, dopamine is low, serotonin is low. When you're happy, serotonin, oxytocin, and all those kinds of hormones are going up in your blood and activating areas in your brain, memory, hippocampus. There's so many areas in your brain. This is neuroscience. That is why science recommends you to stay focused, to be disciplined, to change your mindset, to seek happiness. So what makes you happy? You need to figure that out. You know what makes you feel the pleasure. Everybody knows that. You also know that. But that's not going to make you successful. If you want to be successful, start thinking about others. Start thinking about the happiness of other persons. So that's a big difference that I just wanted to share with you guys. I hope you are getting some kind of value from my episodes. I hope you're getting some kind of value from this podcast. If you do, consider subscribing to this show, and I'll be back tomorrow with another episode. Till then, bye-bye.